Live stream for 0 watchers on YouTube.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Like,
Are we
hey, all
tweeting?
like,
Are we
look
tweeting
at
out that
these
we're?
losers.
It should automatically tweet out. I set it up, but you can. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. Let's see how this. Let's see
Well,
if it
you're
got
the
tweeted out.
GBB Twitter.
I
dude.
did. Yeah, good, bad, or bullshit. Tweeted out.
Sweet.
A little. Of course, I misspelled it. So let me repost that real quick.
Live stream for 0 watchers on YouTube.
Oops, you guys can hear. That's exactly it.
Like,
Are we
hey, all
tweeting
like,
it? Are we tweeting
Oh,
out that
YouTubeception. You gotta turn that. Mute that. All right. Now watch the
we're?
show.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, so I've sent out a tweet. Croft, you can feel free to retweet. Mike, I know you won't.
Sure. I will retweet.
hold on, I gotta close some stuff here.
My Twitter account's rapidly becoming a spam podcast account.
It's true, ID followed you. It's not true, actually. I just don't check Twitter.
Did you defollow him, you bastard?
I never look at Twitter.
Sweet, we are live. That's pretty cool. We're live on YouTube, and there's a comment section.
Oh my god. Come on, 0 listeners. Comment on us. They're like, you
Yeah.
look like an idiot.
Probably. There's the.
This podcast does suck ours.
There's the. All right. Okay, I'm not going to.
The internet.
All right, so I'll keep an eye on the comments.
Bastion of enlightened conversation.
All right, you guys work out who's going to start. I'm going to take a piss. Be right back.
It's a good time to take a piss.
Live, coming to you live from Crofton's bathroom.
Yeah, we should. He shouldn't mute it. It's part of what we're doing now. So, anyways, yeah, you got the random topic schlip schlop all set up.
I'm looking forward to doing our actual videos.
Yeah, so am I. Now that
I got
we
a
have
hold of a smoke
locale.
machine.
Are we just gonna use whatever we find, basically?
No, it'll be like off camera, and the smoke will start up when it's the machine. You know.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, if we have other props and fun things, we'll just use it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's keep it simple to start with. It's gonna be hard to make an actual one. Oh my god! If
Yeah.
anyone's listening to this, they'll know that the random topic generator doesn't actually exist.
Well, I mean, I've been posting videos all week, so. And they don't know. Thing is, I don't know if you watched the video, but your face fills up most of the frame. So, what they don't know is that your button for it is off to the side, and that the smoke is not very thick. It's very pungent, and chokes you, but you can't actually
it's
see
noxious. It's like
yeah.
noxious gas.
But it's actually not very visible. Curious.
Sometimes it is though. Will be when we do a real video.
It'd be funny if, in order to do this, we did it every week, and your house just turned like into a charred, like all your walls were blackened and charred. It's all for this podcast. Your baby is sick. All right, how's the snake? Did you drain it?
All right, I'm done. What's this YouTube link?
It's for the live stream if you want to have it up while we go.
If you want to make sure the bandwidth gets totally screwed up, then yeah.
But also, to look at your positioning, you can see yourself in the camera now, see if you're getting out of frame or whatever.
I look good.
No. Okay.
All
All right. So, Mike, you're the intro man.
Yes.
So I think we're ready to go. Anyone have a preamble topic?
I'm just making it catch up. So okay, there I am.
Any big like political news? We've had some pretty good preambles wherein my ignorance has been on display.
It's not hard to get that on this
There's
play.
the- There was the giant shooting in the States, but I don't really want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's an important topic.
Yeah,
But I
mean,
know.
I can talk about anything.
All right, whatever.
You know me.
Let's just start. We'll talk about EXM and how good it is.
No, let's not talk about it.
Better find
You guys
something.
talk about being fat shamed on live.
By you?
No.
By that kid who listened to your.
No,
show.
all right, let's
So
just
nobody
go.
has anything of interest at all.
No, let's just intro.
All right. I feel like Mike.
There's a union something happening. Union.
Is that all you have? Is
The union I work for.
so guys, how about these unions?
Just start the damn show. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Mike, the tick tick ticks one. You didn't hear them?
I didn't hear the tick tick ticks.
I didn't hear him.
All right, quick sound check.
Lame.
You hear that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just start them again. Sorry, I guess you guys didn't.
Or you
All right,
didn't run
they're
them
coming.
the first
Just
time.
tell me if you hear them or not.
I heard them.
Fuck. All right. Thanks, Crofton.
It's okay. Just go with it.
He asked me a question.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to Good, Bad, or Bullshit, providing quality reviews on random topics since 2013. My name is Michael Hodgins. I'm one of your three hosts on this show, along with Mr. Bo Schwartz. Hello, Bo.
Hello, Michael. Hello, GBB listeners. Super stoked to be here.
Stoked like
I'm
a fire.
Stoked, stoked like a
burning.
red hot poking fire.
And I'm sure our other host is also stoked to be here, Mr. Crofton Sears. Hello, Crofton.
Excelsior, Michael.
Excelsior.
Still haven't found something new?
No.
And didn't you just steal that from Stan Lee?
Yeah, but he's almost dead anyway, so I might as well use it.
Well, and he's also like achieved achieved a lot in his life, whereas I guess you haven't yet. Well, you will.
But maybe he did by using that catchphrase.
Well, we were going back and forth the other day about like this. At my work, they're always talking about excellence, which I find such like a bullshit term. And I always think of that Simpsons where Homer gets the fake award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence, because it's clearly a meaningless statement.
Yeah, excellence. We have excellence in podcasting.
But what is excellence? Like,
That's why it's nothing. Like,
Like-
well, excellence.
what standard does excellence measure up against? If you really think
it's
about
so vague. It's vague enough that you can just say it and expect people to try to work harder. Like,
It's a positive word with positive connotations.
I give
Yeah.
that word bullshit. If we were rating it, I'd be like, excellence is bullshit.
we got an early
Yes.
verdict on the term excellence.
That was an early verdict.
I
this show.
I concur that excellence is pretty much crap, because bullshit, if you will, because there's no it doesn't measure anything.
It's so vague. Like at my work, they had this whole thing where like this year we really want to focus on excellence. Like, what does that mean? Like, what specifically do you mean? Like, excellence at work, excellence in your day-to-day tasks, and I'm like, So
In corporate speak, you might be looking for your key performance indicators. So
it's just like a cop-out thing.
I think there's a specific way to measure what excellence is, and that might be against your mission statement and against whatever sort of throughput you're looking to accomplish if you do that kind of work.
So,
But-
Bo, you are saying there is a way to measure excellence.
There's a way to.
So Bo likes the word excellence. Mike doesn't like it, and I'm on the fence.
But I don't
Sounds like a good show.
Excellence is a nebulous term. Doesn't make sense. It has to be backed up by something concrete, and a lot of stuff is not.
I prefer when it's not. I like to use it vaguely. You're doing
Vaguely.
excellent, sort of like Bill and Ted do. They just
Yeah.
overuse it. Excellent, Rufus. It's just like doesn't matter. It's positive. Just say it a bunch. You'll feel good.
But
That's true.
that's my point. It's sort of like the overly positive non-speak, or like the devaluing of the word awesome. It's just like it's almost meaningless now.
Mike, you are not striving for excellence here.
I know. As we were talking earlier, I'm striving for mediocrity.
You're bogus.
Bogus.
That's
Yeah,
Bill and
man.
Ted speak.
You're striving to be a real bummer, man.
Yeah. Oh, hey, the other day, well, it's funny. We have a video thing. You guys can see me. Our listeners can't. I have this long skateboard, like a longboard.
I think they all knew that.
Really? Well,
Just
okay.
by looking at you. If they can see the video.
Yeah, I look kind of like a hippie or something, I guess. And I was riding. I went to meet Andrea someplace, and then I was walking back with her. And I rode the skateboard over there. And I'm not that good or into skateboarding, but this friend of mine, he makes them, so I was supporting him, and I bought it. And then I was walking with her, and some dude on a longboard rode past who had long hair, and he gave me one of like these like surfs up symbols.
Radical.
Yeah, he totally gave me the like They're like, what do you even say when you do that? You're like,
I don't know what that's called, but like yeah, what is that called, anyways?
Just for the record,
It's
audio
a
listeners,
telephone.
Mike is holding his finger, his thumb up, and his pinky extended. It's not the devil horns from concerts. It's sort of like
It's like how you mime a telephone.
it's
Yeah,
it's like how you
you're like-
mime a telephone, but you shake it, and it means
it's
like,
like the horns of the devil, maybe?
I associate
Because
it
there's
with
also this.
Sean Penn's character from Fast Times at
yeah,
Ridgemont
it is,
High.
and it's like, and I think it kind of means like, oh, surfs up. And I learned recently through, and so this guy actually did this to me. I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. He thinks I'm some dude like him. And I'm like, I'm in the club.
Hang on, was he an older guy or a younger guy?
Nah, he was like 17. I'm like 36 or something. I was like, ah, man, I still got cred with the young guy.
You sure it wasn't
You're
like, ironic cred?
You're like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm sort of like that.
They keep
except
getting
awkward.
older. and
I
you
keep
stay
getting
the-
older,
And they stay the same age?
and the teenage boys keep staying the same age.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, I think what we do here on the Good Better Bullshit podcast is debate a topic selected at random and not make quotes from pervy characters and Dazed and Confused. Mike, are you ready to tell us what we're going to be discussing today?
The
Mike would-
machine is primed and ready.
Mike, you would be Ted Theodore Logan. Just with your head. I'm Bill S. Preston Esquire, and Bo, you're Rufus.
Rufus. Yeah, it's true, I guess.
I think it's been too long since I've seen that movie. I don't know who that is.
Oh, man.
Classic.
Wild Stallions!
Are they remaking that movie?
They remake every movie. God, give it enough time. That's not the topic today. The topic today is theme parks.
Excellent!
Awesome.
Cowabunga, man.
Okay, Bo, you're lost here. It's Bill and Ted, not the Ninja Turtles. Okay.
Same
theme
vibe
park-
though.
Theme parks. I learned something about this the other day. I know it's completely self-explanatory, but I had never given it any thought before. They are not the same thing as amusement parks. And it feels like they would be the same thing. You'd be like, okay, theme park, amusement park, or whatever. It's the same deal. Because when I was a kid, I was the eldest of three brothers, and we went to Disney World, and I wanted to do rides. And at the time, late 80s, there weren't that many great rides at Disney World in terms of like roller coasters and things, or Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain. That was about it. And but what there was a lot of theme activities. So you could take photos with the Disney characters. You could go on like the Alice in Wonderland teacups, or like there would just be tons of like thematic activities like with the characters of Disney. Whereas if you go somewhere like Six Flags, while there may be some token mascot, it's really a bunch of roller coasters and amusement rides and all that sort of thing. So theme parks are more along the lines of like Disney World, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, maybe to a lesser extent.
What's their theme? Like animal cruelty? Because that's what they do there. Like, hey, we took this whale, we put it in a tiny tank for
Like-
your torturing pleasure.
Marine Land.
Marineland's
Everyone
one of
loves
this-
Marine Land.
Actually, not anymore.
It's
It
not,
should
the
just be a tear coming out of the killer whale's eye.
But I think that like technically in what they offer, they're considered a theme park. Whereas like La Ronde or Wonderland would be, to use Canadian examples, would be amusement parks. We don't really have much theme parks here.
Are these a predominantly North American phenomenon and mostly American phenomenon? I know they've exported it,
Definitely exported.
but it's not like it's not really a thing anywhere else. It's really like a USA kind of thing, isn't it?
Well, it's part of. I would say, yeah, it's part of American culture. But it is definitely, there are tons of theme parks in different places, and some are not at all related to American stuff. Like I bet in Japan, there's while there's a Japanese Disney World, there's also Japanese theme park for characters that we probably don't know anything.
There are, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So who Crofton, you've been to which theme parks have you been to?
I've been to Walt Disney World. Again, late '80s here. Like I'm not.
Which one is that? Because I always get them mixed up.
Disneyland's the one in California. Disney World is the one in Florida, and Orlando is pretty much theme park central. There's a SeaWorld there. There's Universal Studios Orlando. I've been to that one as well. And I think that there's other ones, and now they've expanded, right? Like they've got stuff like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is, I think, part of, I want to say Universal, but it's its own kind of sub park now because it's so big, and it's all like you can go to Diagon Alley or you can go to Hogwarts or all these sort of places, right?
Doesn't Lego have one like on an international stage? Isn't there one
Yeah,
for Lego somewhere?
Legoland is in Denmark, I think, or something, or it's somewhere in Europe. The main Lego
And there's
one.
rides there too. Like, are rides always a component? I mean, I think of them as being so.
Yeah, I think mostly rides are a component. The big thing though is that they're putting together a theme. Like a colleague of mine at work is taking his like 2-year-old to I guess in Pennsylvania they have a Sesame Street one called Sesame Place. It's been around for quite a while. And again, I'm not sure what sort of rides they would have there. They probably have some like really young kid rides, like, but for the most part, it's about meeting your favorite characters from Sesame Street and that sort of thing. Like, so
Now that Disney owns Star Wars, it's only a matter of time before there's a Star Wars.
well, there was already Star Tours at MGM Studios, which was a Star Wars ride that I went on and is pretty awesome. And I know that they're updating it, but like they're definitely going to be a whole giant Star Wars. Disney and Marvel, there was a sort of story there
Marvel.
where Marvel had a deal with Universal before it was bought by Disney, before Marvel was bought by Disney rather. And so they had like a Universal theme, a Universal section devoted to Marvel. There's a Spider-Man ride. There's a roller coaster called the Incredible Hulk, like it was a giant green roller coaster, and all this sort of thing. But when Disney bought Marvel, all of a sudden they had this weird sort of situation where now like Marvel had this contract with Universal and Disney wants to bring all those things into its park. So like they're in the process of transitioning out of Universal and into Walt Disney World with all the Marvel stuff. But Disney World's going to have, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, all the Disney stuff. Like it's already the biggest theme park in the world. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's
I envision this idea of a Hulk ride being you get in a car and then it goes and gets caught in traffic and then there's people spilling stuff on you until you get infuriated and then that gives you the Hulk experience. It's like, oh, it's so bad. Like now you know what it's like to be the Hulk.
Then somebody comes and cuts off all your clothes, except
It's so
little
authentic.
shorts. Yeah,
Except your shorts.
which they spray paint purple.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed to physically abuse the staff on hand. You can,
Physically abused.
because that's what the Hulk does. He just breaks everything and hurts.
So, Bo,
things.
have you been to any amusement?
So I need a few to help answer this. I need Crofton and you to help clarify what's a theme park versus what's an amusement park.
Sure.
Canada's Wonderland.
Amusement
I
park
think amusement.
Yeah. Okay.
has elements of it's in Canada one that really straddles the line because it used to be Paramount, Canada's Wonderland. And
Yeah,
everything was thematic, like it was Top Gun, the ride. Now it's, I think,
Yeah. When I went, I can't recall any movie tie-ins from my visit.
there was a bunch of tie-ins last time. They had a Tomb Raider ride and all this, and they had a couple. Anyway, so I would say that Canada's Wonderland is the one that is the most. It's more of an amusement park, but it's really on the line there.
All right. And so Park Safari, that's a zoo, right? Like Park Safari.
Well,
Yeah,
it's got the animal cruelty theme, same as Marine Land.
I mean, because it isn't really as like the animals are free roaming. That's the big thing.
I don't know. It's something.
How do you think a lion likes free roaming in Canada? Like, what the hell have you done to me?
Look, I'm
can
not
roam
here
out
to.
in snow
We'll
all-
talk about some animal cruelty stuff soon if we really want to go that route. But I'm just trying to clarify here.
There is one.
Park
I thought.
Safari, and I've been, the other one that I've been to is Marineland, and you can see my favorite mug is a Marineland mug, and it's
Really?
knocked my mic. It's got like ridges where the dolphins are, and it says Marineland. You can see how disgusting it is inside this cup, though. Pretty nasty cup of coffee I'm drinking.
For our listeners.
But yeah, Marineland. Marineland is a theme, like it's marine themed,
Sort
right?
of. I feel like that. That's
There's-
zoo kind of like I feel like theme. It's more like the character, like the someone's intellectual property become a park, and whereas animals are, it's a little bit. But I guess we'll include it.
It's a park. It has a unifying theme of marine biology, although there are like bears there, and like, was there monkeys? I don't remember. There's non-marine wildlife there, but for the most
they're
part,
misrepresenting themselves.
well,
Oh, is this marine land?
it's a bit of value add for your visit.
So you've not been to, like, I've also been to Disney World, the one in Florida. I get it wrong all the time, and my sister-in-law really loves going to whichever one's in Florida and corrects me constantly. I'm like, oh, you're going to Disneyland again? She's like, Disney World, and I'm like, oh yeah. I just can't seem to go. So I've been there when I was like 16 or something, and some of those, the Universal Studios, and there was a couple other ones that were associated with the Disney. I can't really even remember them, but there was a bunch of big ones. And one other one occurred to me that's kind of local to Ottawa that I remember going as a kid, and I'm sure these exist all over the States. And these are Bible themed theme parks. Like there's one near Ottawa. It's called Logos Land, and it's like a very not high quality theme park, but it's like themed. There's like a giant boat like Noah's Ark, and you go there and you're like, oh, a boat. And then there's like, I don't know, sort of Bible themed.
I believe it exists. My brain
Yeah,
has never really wrapped itself around the idea of a Bible themed park.
It's like past Renfrew, kind of going. Nobody knows where.
There's
that
a
is.
fairy tale one too in the region. Now that I think
Yes,
about
there is a
it.
fairy tale.
Storyland. You're thinking
Storyland.
about Storyland.
There's like no rides there, right? It's just
well, it's
Well,
closed,
It's still sort of a theme park.
but doesn't exist anymore. Closed in 2011.
Oh, I went there a few times as a child. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, no, but that was classic fairy tales. It's a small, but it was a theme park for sure. Yeah, for kids.
No, what I remember about my time there, aside from generally enjoying myself at 16, but this is also kind of retrospective, so I'm putting my like current biases as like an overlay onto my memories, but of crazy lineups all the time, and being in some places where I can even remember at the time being so annoyed. There was one place where they kept playing this. It was sort of a Muppets thing, and you waited this forever long lineup. And it was this guy singing this song, and it's like, "You've got a friend in me," and it's like this kind of nice song, and it just loops constantly. And we were in line for, I don't know, I felt like it was hours, and I remember being like, "Someone stop this music for God's sakes!" And it was, but whereas initially I was like, "Well, this is a nice song. I like this song." And I'm like, some of those employees must want to take their own lives after working there for a couple of years, where it's the same thing day in and day out. And I feel like what I came away with now looking back is just like, it's just a big fake money suck is what I think of when I think of a theme park.
It is in many ways that, and I think it's easy to apply adult cynicism on those things. But like, I know that right now one of the big sort of sensations around the world is Frozen, which is a Pixar, or not Pixar, it's a Disney in-house animated film, CG animated, and it made $1 zillion. I was in Westfest, which is a sort of little mini festival near my house, and there was a children's store that was clearly violating any form of copyright infringements or whatever by having one of their staff members dress up as Elsa, the main character of Frozen. And there's just the line of kids that just wanted to go and hug Elsa. And like, there was one that was like smiling and literally crying happiness tears as they were like hugging Elsa. And and I remember thinking like this is why people go to Disney World, and they market that, they sell like where where dreams come true and all this sort of thing. And this is like it's not necessarily, they try to make it for everyone, but like it is about like providing access to some of these things that you just see, on TV, or like characters that you've grown up with and all that. And like I saw, even as a teenager, I saw like the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular, whatever. It was like a live stage
Oh
show.
yeah, I saw that too.
And I remember thinking like, man, this is super awesome and really enjoying it. Like, I mean, it's a money suck for sure, and it's not like you don't go daily to the theme park, like it's not like, hey, let's go to the theme
But
park
a lot
today.
of people go yearly.
Yeah,
and,
my brother probably does.
What?
Devlin?
Which brother?
Devlin and his wife, my brother who lives in Alberta, like they went to
Why?
they just went to Japan, and one of the first places they went to was the Japanese Disney World.
It's like, oh, we're experiencing the new, different
Here it
culture of
comes.
Japan. Let's go to Disney World. It's like, why would? Okay,
Because-
clearly I'm not in favor of theme parks here.
But they were able to see the difference too. It was a point of reference that they were familiar with, right? So when they're at the Disney World, they
You could
were
buy
able
like
to,
Minnie Mouse used underwear and vending machines or something. Oh, Japan slam.
that's borderline racist, but all right.
Mike just
allow it.
literally face palmed as you were talking. I just like to
It's
point
just
that
like,
out.
why you be like, oh, we love traveling, let's go to Japan, and then go to Disney World makes 0 sense to me.
They also went to
anyways.
Euro Disney when they went to Paris, or whatever.
Why? Like, why? Like, this, I don't know why this is astounding me so much. I'm just like, for the
because
love of God, there's like thousands of years of history. Let's go to Disneyland.
Because they love Disney. That's their interest. They have a strong affinity to Disney, and each of those places offers different things. It's like, for example, I really like video games. If there was a video game like museum or exhibit or something like that in each of those places, I would find time to go there during my trip, like, even though technically I can play video games at home, right? It's just, that's my interest. Their interest is Disney. And I think a lot of kids in particular, Disney, Sesame Street, like all these things they grow up with. And the idea is to, like, yes, it's to make cash money for sure. But like Walt Disney designed, say, Disney World, Disneyland, and it was with the idea of bringing some of his, like, the stuff that he had in his head to life, and having a fun experience for the whole family. Like, I mean, you can make money and still offer that.
The cynical side of me imagines is Walt Disney being like, how can I get this stuff in my mind into reality? And he has like a thought bubble of a big pile of cash. And then he's like, wait a minute, there is a way I can make this cash a reality for myself.
Have you guys seen Jurassic World?
The movie?
The new
Yeah,
one
the-
that just came out?
Yeah, that just came out.
No.
No.
So okay, like, but we've all seen Jurassic Park, right?
Yes.
So the concept in Jurassic Park was they were starting a theme park, a dinosaur-based theme park, and the
Because
concept.
it's impossible to bring dinosaurs back to the world. Like, that's the draw.
But no, but the idea is that they're making a theme park, right? Like
Yeah.
for dinosaurs. And in Jurassic World, the concept is like that they have not only made a theme park, but it's extremely successful, and they're sort of going into the business aspect of things. And before all shit breaks loose, the movie gives you a sense of like all the craziness associated with the theme park. Like, there's flashy educational things for people, and then there's ridiculous ride things and all that. And it kind of gives you a taste of the good and the bad. But as Mike said, they're always keeping an eye on their bottom line, right? And in the Jurassic World movie, the joke is that people are no longer interested in dinosaurs. They're like, okay, whatever, we've seen the dinosaurs. So they're genetically splicing to create new dinosaurs that essentially never existed or whatever. Like, that's the whole idea. And then they create this super evil dinosaur or whatever. But but like, the commentary there is that people get sick of shit, so you build new shit because you got to keep making money, right? And like in Disney World, it keeps expanding. I almost think it would be really funny if, like, in, I don't know, a billion years from now, the entire planet is Disney World, because it has just expanded so much and they've added so many like parks to it, because it's already 3 times bigger than when I went. And when I went, it had just been expanded to 3 parks,
There's got to be a critical mass where if it takes you, if you know, like days to travel, like you cannot traverse the entirety of the park and see everything within one day. It can't expand to the point where you'd have to spend 5 weeks to see the park, you know. That it's like the equivalent of not visiting unless there's something really specific within the park that you wanted to go see. I don't know. Like that's
Disney World literally has like multiple parks. Like there's the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, MGM. They have their water park, whatever that is. They have the Harry Potter. They have like there's just like each one's its own place with its own entry fee and all that.
It takes days to like.
Yeah,
you can easily spend 2 days at each one of them, like full days of feeling hot and tired and like where'd all my money go, kind of thing.
Yeah, which is where I want. I don't know a lot about theme parks. I kind of want to jump in and participate a bit in the conversation, because anytime I've gone to a park, it has been the shittiest experience ever. I think there was one time we went to Canada's Wonderland at night and we were drinking and it was like a nighttime thing, and that was kind of fun, but we weren't there very long. We were there basically just to joke around and be foolish. But most of my daytime excursions,
and you were at least a teenager or an adult at that point.
I was a teenager, sure.
You weren't day drinking as a 7-year-old.
No, I was I was in my 20s, I think, by that point. But most of my adult experiences of theme parks is that there has been, apart from, I say, visiting the zoo and seeing some of the awesome animals, because getting a chance to see that is awesome, there's nothing, like, a theme park is like 95% crap. Like, it's walking places, it's being around irritating people, it's waiting in lines with that music, like Mike said. Like, it's tolerating so much for so little of benefit.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it's just like, clearly I'm not liking the theme parks, but I almost would go like theme parks are like an example to me of where we're going wrong with society, of like fake shit. Everyone prizes fake shit over like an authentic experience. So for example, there they have like some like Magic Canyon ride with like fake rocks and like a fake train. Like there are places in the world that look like that and are beautiful, but they're, hard. You go to the Grand Canyon or something, but it's harder to get there. It's a one-off thing, and people don't have patience or time.
Do you think a kid would have more fun going to the Grand Canyon or more fun going to Disney World?
I think with kids, it's different and worse. I think with kids, because I have a baby now, as some of our listeners know, and so do you. All the diapers I put on my kids have either Disney characters on them or Sesame Street characters on them. And I'm like, why are these on here? And it annoys me because from like the absolute youngest age possible, it's like, we need to get these images to kids and get them hooked on Disney. So they're going to be like, Mom and Dad, I want to go to Disney World. Please, 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 please. Because it works. And kids love Disney. And I'm like, that's okay. I love Disney, watching it Sunday nights when I was a kid too. My parents were like, no, we're not going to Disneyland. I went with when I was 16, friend's family was going, and I went with them. And you went as a 16-year-old? Yeah, I was always more like they were going, and my buddy was like, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, okay. I'd never been on a plane before, so I was excited to go. But as I said, I remember my experience is similar to Bo's. I just remember being like hot, waiting in constant lines of like repetitive like garbage all over the place. I mean, everyone's cleaning it up. They're meant to look very spotless, but like trash cans full of stuff, like fast food everywhere, and just being like, this is such a fake experience. And then like Epcot, you go there and they have like, the international sector where they have all these country pavilions, and I'm just like, what a bunch of crap. Like, I mean, more Americans should be traveling abroad and experiencing the world and not going to Epcot Center to look at their like, sanitized American version of what the world is like. I just think it's an example of the superficiality of everything. Like personified in a theme park. Go there, and that's what you need. It'll
I
make
think
you feel
I
good.
think you're again creating a false choice where people can only go to Disney World or they can only go to have like different experiences, and I don't think that that's at all true. So, as a disclaimer here, I worked at La Ronde for many years. Now, La Ronde is in Montreal, is an amusement park, but it
He's
has
biased. Listen, he's biased.
No,
He's
no.
paid off
He's
by
got
big.
insight.
uh, I have a lot of insight. I guarantee I've spent more time in an amusement park or a theme park than both of you guys put together. And if anything, I should be the most. Like, I've seen blasé people. I've seen everything that there is to see in these parks. I had to dress up as Pikachu, the yellow Pokemon.
Oh, really?
And bounce around for kids in a giant suit while I was sweltering, and like 15-year-olds were trying to hump me in the back. Like, I have done and seen it all, but I think that you guys are taking your adult selves and your teenage selves and transposing it on top of what is inherently an experience for younger people. Now, I definitely like rides. I love amusement parks to this day. Like, if we were doing amusement parks, the roller coasters, the drops, the everything, I love that stuff. So it would be a no-brainer. Theme parks are a little more complicated because they target children, and honestly, anything that targets children makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But the idea is that if everything was crass, like the way Mike is characterizing it, I would definitely take issue with it. But in fact, Disney movies, by and large, for instance, are good quality movies, and they're like, there's movies for all different age ranges. Yes, as some people are going to have problems with content in some Disney movies, but like, my kids are going to watch Disney movies. They're entertaining, they're cool, and at one point, to give them the opportunity to go to a place that, yeah, as an adult, I can see the fake rocks or whatever, but as a child, they're going and they're getting to meet Cinderella, or they're getting to meet, whatever, the Lion King, or some other like, it doesn't mean that
Some
I'm
other
not gonna,
bullshit character.
some other character. Like, I just feel like you guys are getting lost in the cynicism of adulthood and are forgetting what it's like to be a kid. Because as a kid, these are things that you would want to do. These are experiences you would like to have, and it's not just because they're marketed it to you. It's because if you watch Star Wars, you watch anything, they're not going to live in a cave. They're going to get these experiences, and if they're told, hey, there's a place where you can experience some of this stuff yourself or see some of these things live, they're going to want to go there. It's just natural.
It is, but I still think it's all about, it is the commercialization of it all, and I feel like I'd rather give, like, we started the show that I'm kind of a hippie. I mean, if I was to give my kid experience, like, I'm hoping to take him on long camping trips and experience the great outdoors, or maybe take him to other parts of the world on trips, so he might experience how different cultures
You
live.
can do that, or you can go to Disney.
Well,
Like,
but that's the thing. You say and or, and that's true. You can do both. I do think a large percentage of people do one, and if you're like American or Canadian, you might pick. First of all, they make it very easy to travel there. Like, if you want to go take your kid to, I don't know, let's pick a random country, Estonia. If you were to go there with your kid, you have to figure out, like, oh, okay, how am I going to get there? Where are we going to stay? It's complicated. Whereas Disney is basically almost boiled down to an all-inclusive resort, which we have covered on this show already. Very simple to travel to. Everything's, you don't ever have to leave the resort. You go there, all of the restaurants are there. And I know a little bit about this because my sister-in-law is in love with going to Disney, World,
I
the
think
one
it's
in Florida.
World, the one you're
World. She's been last year, she's going this year. She is obsessed with it. She's like, you can book your restaurants 180 days before your arrival date. And she was up that morning trying to book the restaurants. And I'm like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? And she's like, oh, well, there's one where you can be served by like Belle and Beast. And I'm like, what? Who cares? It's a restaurant. But I mean, obviously I'm not into Disney, and I can appreciate that some people do, but it costs a lot of money. And I also think that, especially when they branch into other things like the Harry Potter thing, I find that so much Hollywood stuff has destroyed things that I read and that I use some imagination energy on. And I feel like I'd rather, I'd hope my kid watches some Disney movies and likes them, and I hope he likes reading and using his imagination and visualizing things. Whereas for me, like reading Lord of the Rings as a kid has almost largely been ruined now by the movies. And and I just feel like there's room for just pure imagination, and you don't have to have someone dressed up in a foam suit to be able to get that sense of play and imagination.
But
And
again, it's not a choice. It's not like, oh, because Disney World exists, they can never read a book and use their imagination. That's not how it works. These movies are already visual movies. You're seeing all these characters. It's meeting them like in person. It's giving the kids, and the marketing is saying giving the kids an experience they won't forget. In many ways, that's true. Like my wife's cousin's son went with her son, a 4-year-old son, to Disney World, and he was just like, she's like, I never understood it before, Crofton, but like, holy crap. I take my kid there and he's practically crying of tears of joy. He's so excited to see these characters. And I think that's the magic of theme park. Yes, there is tons of bullshit associated with it, but the inherent experience is, it's not a bunch of cranky people, as Bo pointed out. There are obviously going to be situations where people are angry or whatever, but mostly you're seeing people run around extremely excited and extremely happy. It's generally a positive place, and it's a place that people choose to go back to year after year. And I'm talking Disney here. All theme parks are different, and they have different qualities of things. I think of Universal Studios was one of my favorites. All the different sort of movie experiences, the Back to the Future ride, the Ghostbusters experience, E.T., Jaws, King Kong, like all those things, like they give you the feeling that their slogan is living the movies. And honestly, it sometimes really felt that way. Like, and I went right at the perfect age range and stuff. So anyway, I'm pretty much know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I think we need to delve into verdicts. Listening to both of you though, I feel like I get what both of you are saying because I feel both of it. I think for a young person, it's definitely a lot of fun, but if you just look at how businesses operate, like these businesses that work in cartoons, in dramatic works or works of art that are marketed to children, there is a level of indoctrination that these companies engage in, that if you're uncomfortable with those kinds of scientists looking to try and get maximum market penetration in all those little young minds, that you would have a discomfort, even if it was enjoyable, wanting to keep them at a distance. Like, I can understand that, because sometimes it's hard to feel what is really what I own versus what is, what has been indoctrinated in me that I can't see. And I think if you're willing to go there with your thinking, then that's something that concerns you. But if you look at the world and you say, well, these are just things I'm enjoying, no big deal, then I think that's also okay too. I don't think humanity's settled on one answer is correct over the other. But I think both points are equally legit. So
let's do some verdicts on this.
Verdict it up.
All right. Why don't one of you two go first?
All right.
Oh, wait a second. We gotta bring the animals in. The jury.
It's like Brad Marine Band. I like that.
Order, I say. Order in the court.
Order, I say.
Order in the cart.
They'd be a good act at a theme park.
So can you imagine one day we're gonna have a good, bad, or bullshit theme park?
Mike, it's between you and I to go first. We're both going to do our individual pitches, and Bo will then go with whoever was the last one to deliver their verdict.
We have to convince him.
So yeah, like it's.
I can go first if you want to. If that's a concern.
Do you? Oh, you
I
are?
will.
No?
Yeah,
Well, maybe he should hear.
I wanted to have a chance, to pitter
Yeah, we
patter.
have more to say. Okay. I'll start.
I'll go in the middle. How about that?
No. We'll go Mike, and then me, and then you.
All right, deal.
Okay, so theme park. I know a lot of people that love theme parks. I've been to theme parks. I know kids go crazy for this kind of stuff, and frankly, that kind of is part of the problem for me with it. I think children are easily manipulated, and I think that the people who put this entertainment stuff together know that. and they know that that brings a lot of money to them, and so they go to large extents to get kids hooked on this stuff early. I mean, I'm hoping that I could teach my kid that movies are movies. It's fun to watch movies. It's a movie. You can appreciate animation for what it is. You don't have to go to some place where people dress up and pretend to be the movies. You can appreciate the movie for what it is. You can appreciate a book for what it is. You can appreciate the real world for what it is. You don't need to go to some place where someone's constructed something and taken away what your imagination can do and put it into something physical and you pay a lot of money to see. I hate theme parks. I'm going to come right out and say it. I really dislike them. I think they're all that's superficial in our society, rolled up together in one place, commercialized, fake, and all about extracting your money. There's no authentic experience to be had there. And I think that they're not just a bullshit thing. I think that they're a bad thing, theme parks. As much as kids like it, kids like a lot of stuff. Kids can't tell the difference between reality and what's not real until they're like teenagers. It's a big issue with things like, food packaging and stuff like that. Kids don't know the difference, and I think we do a disservice to kids to get them hooked on this stuff and want to go there, even though they're like, I love it, because they've been fed it. And I would rather try to teach my kid what the world is, and there's lots of fun things to do in the world, and your imagination is wonderful without the stuff that you have to buy to get it. Because that's bottom line is you have to pay to play at those places. They're not public services. They're expensive to get into, and they're bloody more expensive once you're in there. It's a big money game. Fake. Bad. Okay, done.
Okay, so I'm going to go right out and go the complete other way and say that theme parks are good. I pretty much disagree with most of what Mike says. He makes some good points. I said when I was a kid and I was sort of growing up, and especially around 15, 16, I really said to myself I'd make a cognizant effort and never try and forget the sort of wonder and excitement that I had when I was a child. And that's imagining things for yourself, but that's also experiencing things through a child's eyes and seeing sort of like wonderful sights, be they fake or be they real. There's nothing wrong with an inauthentic experience. Essentially, that's what every film is that you see, right? So what I always felt with a theme park, and I've been to a lot of theme parks, is every time I really enjoyed myself. I left every time with an extremely positive experience. I worked at a pseudo theme park, and I got to see the behind the scenes machinations. Yes, there's money to be made, and yes, there's like corporate calculations. I don't think it's as nefarious as Bo says, where they're looking to indoctrinate and target children to an expansive or an excessive degree. And I definitely don't like to overthink things to the point that I've been guilty of in the past. Like, I don't post any of my kids' images on Facebook because I'm concerned about the corporate monstrosity that is Facebook. So as an older, mid-30 parent, I'm definitely aware of some of these things. But theme parks are fun. Theme parks don't restrict animation, don't restrict imagination. I find they allow kids to see that things that can be created on screen can potentially exist in the real world. It's like Santa Claus. If you believe in telling your kid that there's no Santa Claus because you don't want to lie to your kid, maybe theme park is not for you. But if you're okay with like your kid thinking that certain things are real at a young age to instill that sense of wonder and imagination or whatever, I mean, for me, I'm okay with that stuff generally, and I'm okay with the fakeness surrounding the theme park. I understand where Mike's coming from, but for me, like, I'm so on the other side due to my positive experiences, while recognizing it, like many businesses, like everything, there's money to be made and there are some downsides to it. Overall, theme parks are pretty fun. I'm going to say they're good.
Wow, you guys. Those were both
I couldn't disagree more. But hey, that's what this show is all about.
I couldn't disagree more with you, but Bo's going to say
no, I disagree with you.
So it doesn't matter.
You guys both gave some excellent verdicts. Very persuasive on both sides.
Thank you, Bo.
You know, I feel like you guys are both right, but you're not going to like hearing me say that. So for my verdict, I don't have a lot of experience with theme parks. I didn't have a lot to contribute to the conversation. Even the parks that I visited are arguably maybe not theme parks. But I will say this, that, you know, I think that my personal experiences of parks has been mostly bad. Just because I don't have the kind of personality that likes to stand in lines and that enjoys walking around all day doing kind of nothing except for like 5 minutes of enjoyment. But it's really cool to see some awesome things that you can't see anywhere else. So I think some theme park experiences can offer you that experience of something. You know, if we're going to talk Marineland, I loved seeing the whales, even though animal cruelty is a thing. Definitely love seeing those animals. And I'm someone who, like, okay, if I'm going to poop all over theme parks, I'm into, like, I play World of Warcraft. I like seeing people do costume play with video game characters. This is a form of celebration for things that are created by people. These are brands. These are backed by companies. I'm into that kind of thing. I think that kind of fandom is good. So when I look at what people are doing with theme parks, it's the company doing it, not the fans doing it, but the company engaging in that kind of thing for their fans. And like it or not, there are people that are going to be fans of Lego and Disney and all that kind of stuff. That being said, so I like the fandom side of things. I like the geekdom side of things. I don't like the actual experience of walking around in a giant zoo for people or park. So I'm going to go ahead and give theme parks the bullshit verdict. And there you go. I landed right in the middle. The full spread.
In Bo's defense, because we both know that as soon as we set it up for him with one good, one bad verdict, he's gonna trigger the full spread. But
you don't know me. You don't know me.
I feel like you really gave good reasons.
Oh yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. In Bo's defense, if there was any in which he should be giving the full spread to, then this would be one. It makes perfect sense. So I definitely endorse his bullshit.
I only give out the full spread to topics.
We're not agreed on this subject. So good listeners, if you have any experience with theme parks and would like to weigh in, tell me how wrong I am, or tell Crofton how wrong he is, or Bo how right he is, then please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Or you can email us at goodbadbull@gmail.com. You can send us a tweet at goodbadbull. And you can visit our website to find out all that information, goodbadbull.com. And on there you can find links to Stitchers and iTunes to subscribe to the show. We'd love it if you did. And you can also like us on Facebook if that's your shtick too. And, if you want to get in touch with any of us personally, Bo, where can our good listeners contact you?
You can find me on Twitter at Bo Schwartz. And I just want to give a little shout out to the whole thingamaboobs that we are streaming live on YouTube. So follow me or follow Good Bad Bull on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we're going live, and you can join us and comment in the comments section. So far it's going good. Today's our first experiment. So yeah.
Yeah, according to this meter, it says one person is watching now. Is that me?
It's viewer Bo. It's a sad day. Crofton, where can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can find me waiting in line at the theme park while I tweet on my Twitter account at Crofton Steers. Thank you for smartphones.
And you can't find me on Twitter because I'll be in the real world trying to have an authentic experience. Okay, I thought of something, Crofton, when you were going off on
No, we're done this.
No, this is like the post. It's not really related to theme parks, but
okay, good.
Whatever. It's just our post-show convo, which we always have.
All right.
I've been to a couple places as an adult that have made me, and I know what you mean about like when you were a child saying, I want to remember my how I was as a kid and loving certain things. And I have been places as an adult that has made me think, wow, there's magic in the world. And it was not Disneyland. Those places there's a couple of them. I went into a volcano in Indonesia, and I remember thinking, this is where dragons live. It was unreal. Like, not, you could not manufacture something like that. Some places in the far north, like covered in lichen of northern Quebec, and I just thought, like, there are fairies here, and certain other places in like swamps full of like lily pads and flowers, and just being like, there is magic in the world, and feeling like a kid again. And I have never got that from like plastic rocks and lineup and someone playing music. And I would just say that you can still get that sort of like, I feel like a kid again experience without going to a theme park. That's all.
As an adult, yes.
As an adult, yeah.
But as a kid, they'd rather go to the theme park than the Lichen Rocks. I guarantee you. I was gonna say one thing that was interesting about this episode is that when we conceived of this show, I think, like, you see these panel shows on Fox News or whatever.
That's what we have, a panel show.
Where you've got like you've got one person who's like the liberal, and then one the conservative, and then like maybe one who's supposed to be in the middle.
Or it's just an old guy who's a noob and doesn't say anything.
Or if it's Bo, you're that guy. The thing is, I found this episode was one of the most like, okay, so Mike draws his lines or whatever, and it's like, I'm on this side. Crofton draws his lines and says, I'm on this side, and then Bo's like in the middle, and he's like, I don't know, what do each of you guys think? But it just really felt like one of those, when we talked about the concept of this show, this is sort of like the pure distillation. I don't think there's ever been one that I can
uncut crack cocaine of good, bad, or bullshit right here.
It just feels like the pure rock, like you've got one on one side saying, oh, good, one
like
on
if
the
you
other
were
side
a show
saying,
producer,
bad.
we'd be the people you'd find to get that polemic going,
Well, sometimes we, very often even, we have echo chambers or just slight variants of the same topic. Maybe we have different verdicts, but our rationale might be almost exactly the same. We just come down
it took
with
a while for that to get
different
cooking,
stamp. No, but maybe a little bit. But for I knew when the topic was drawn that my verdict was going to be good. Mike only had to decide between, is it bullshit or is it bad? So I mean, we knew where we stood pretty fairly.
But
fairly.
I didn't. I was thinking about it the whole time.
But that's the whole point.
That's what makes us a little bit more of substance in those shows, because we're not cardboard. I'm left, you're right, I'm center.
What does my political affiliations tell me?
Yours? You'd be like maybe libertarian.
I'm doing an impression. What do my political affiliations tell me I should be saying on this panel? Does that voice help you convey that?
No.
Why am I so bad at like doing everything? It's
you're not bad at doing it. You're
good at lots of things, Bo.
Yeah,
but I can never convey when I'm joking.
I don't know.
I don't know. Just a politician who is on camera, not saying what he means. He's towing his company his party line.
Because you're being like, it's like a metaphor. You're trying to do an impression of a metaphor of an archetype.
To be fair, Bo, you did do two.
It's an illusion of a metaphor.
Podcast today.
I guess so. I might be running on low fuel.
All right, that was a good one. It was good to have.
I thought that was good too.
It turned out better than I thought. I was like, because and I've tried to stop doing this, the Crofton, the whole shitting on topics thing. But my initial reaction, which I swallowed, was theme parks. For fuck's sakes, what kind of fucking topic is this?
But they're one of those things.
I thought that was
I was wrong.
But not even like on paper. Doesn't it just seem like the type of topic that this show is made for?
Yeah.
Sure.
It was a good one.
No, but we know it was good in retrospect. But just looking at the topic, when you have a show called Good, Bad, or Bullshit, and you're trying to determine if something is good, bad, or bullshit, feels like this would be definitely.
And maybe my reaction is somewhat informed by the fact that I haven't visited too many theme parks, so I didn't have a lot to contribute.
Oh right, maybe. Yeah,
so maybe I was looking forward to something I could really sink my teeth into.
I'm totally stoked to take Gwen to Disney World, but I'm gonna wait until she's like.
Just the right age to be perfectly indoctrinated.
It was worth it to see Mike facepalm. He literally went like.
When you're talking, your brother, you go into Europe, and the first thing you do is go to Europe. I'm like, what? And And the Japan one too. I was like, God, you should make him listen to this one. I was definitely astounded and disgusted.
Wait, but then you mentioned your sister-in-law goes
Yes.
every single year.
And it drives me nuts. And I always have to. Every time she's talking about it, I'm like, oh, because I want to be like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you go someplace real, Disneyland all the time? And she's like, it's so great. And I'm just like, it's so fake.
But she loves it. She's having a great time every
She
time
loves
she
it, but
keeps
it's
going
in the
back.
same way that people love reality TV and lots of other stupid things in the world that make a lot of money and are good, and for some people's view, but in my view, they're just fake.
Yeah, it
It's just
doesn't
a
matter.
waste. There's so many
Ba-
beautiful things in the world, like go to watch, like it's just and they do a
It's
good job.
funny how you keep making that. It's like, oh God, it's like so many beautiful things in the world. So
There
there's no
are.
way anybody can possibly see them now because they've gone to Disney World.
No,
That's
but I do
such
feel
bullshit.
like most people take like one trip a year if they do a trip. And a lot of people don't even do any trips. It might be once in 10 years. You got one choice, and you got your 3 kids being like Disneyland, 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 and you're like, oh well, how about we go to Yosemite? And they're like, screw you, Dad. I want what's on the cereal box.
It's funny.
And then you go to Disneyland, and
But
that's
it's
and
funny that is like a joke in movies where it's like oh kids, I got us tickets. We're gonna go to Yosemite Park and watch the geysers.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
awesome.
And kids are like, oh God, Hodgins, you're becoming an old man so fast.
No, I'm in awe of the beauty of the universe.
Sure.
It's funny how you're kind of in denial about it, Mike.
Yeah, you are in
It's
denial.
like it's
but-
okay. It's okay
I'm
to
being
be that
old?
way.
Oh, I'm not in
Not
denial.
old, but being lame, like to kids. Like you're gonna be like, let's go to Yosemite Park, and your kid, I guarantee, is gonna
Yeah.
be like, it's
Alright.
great and all, but I'd really like to go to Disneyland. Like
We'll
that.
see.
I mean,
We'll
you went
see.
to
We'll
Disneyland.
see. Kids like me.
as a 16-year-old.
Still, but probably with the
doesn't
sense
even
of like, I want to do this. Like, I haven't been to Disneyland. I'm the
No,
real.
I know.
I'm the real anti-theme parker here, friend.
You
I
know
bet
what's
you my kid won't like Disneyland because I'll be like, we'll be watching Disney and I'll be destroying his world through it. I'm like, what a bunch of shit. I mean, you need to think critically about this garbage. He's like, but Dad, I like it. And I'm like, here, read some Chris Hedges. Chris Hedges.
You know what's funny? This is one of those topics where I think there was another one recently where I said, like, if Bo, because Bo's on the fence because he doesn't really know, but if we took Bo and we sent him to a theme park for the weekend, okay, like let's say we took him and sent him to Disney.
Oh, you
I
said that about
guarantee-
music festivals.
I guarantee he comes back and is like, good, it's amazing.
You said we
know?
said that
He's
about
been-
music festivals too.
Yeah.
He's been to Wonderland. If he's been to
No,
Wonderland and that was
it's
his
not the
experience,
same.
because that was my experience as well at Disneyland. Like, and I do remember enjoying the rides once I got
Disney
on
World,
them.
it's Disney World, Hodgins.
Whatever. Yeah. But like once I got on the rides or into the thing, it's like, yeah, it's fun, but it's mostly not that. If all you do is ride rides, it'd be awesome. But it's mostly like standing there. I remember being like, my feet hurt, and it's like it's so hot, and you're just like thirsty,
I've
and you're
been to
standing
a
in
lot of them.
line. You've got a friend in me. I'm like, shut up, song.
I'm sad that your teenage experience at Disneyland for 7-year-olds was poor, and I'm sad that Bo's experience day drinking at Canada's Wonderland, the closest thing Canada has to a half-assed theme park, was bad. But
Gauntlet
I've
laid.
been to-
Damn.
I have been to a lot of theme parks, and I will tell you that they are fun, and you guys are lame.
You know what? I'm willing
Anyways,
to
that was
admit
a
I
good
have enough
comment.
ignorance on the topic that you may in fact be right. I can't say that
I'm
you're
just
wrong
saying
or
that
right.
if I took Bo and I sent him to Disney World right now, he'd come back and he'd be like, he'd have Mickey Mouse ears on, and he'd be like, Mike, did you know they have a Transformers wing in Disney World now?
Yeah, you would-
Or
Do
whatever.
they have a
And he'd be like,
Transformers wing?
I don't know. You're gonna
That
Google
would
though.
that would be
Yeah.
would be like if there was a tiebreaker,
Dude,
it'd push me one way. 'Cause
Universal probably has a The Transformers movies are so big. I guarantee you that there's a.
I was thinking
Transformers-
G1.
Oh,
Movies, that's
you
so
are
bad.
just having to nerd it up so bad.
Generation
You might be.
one, baby.
I have this image of Bo taking photos with this big guy, this guy on stilts in an Optimus Prime costume, and
Hey.
he's like,
Speaking of Transformers, though, did you guys see that video, that stop motion video some amateur made with the toys?
No.
"Oh yeah, you recommended that as your
Have
recommend."
either of
on-
you watched this yet?
No.
Oh, you guys are missing out. It's so good. It's like 20 minutes of someone stop motioned all the original Transformers toys, and it's like and explosions. It's super bad and super
I bet it's
good.
good. It's probably someone who took forever to make that.
Yeah, it's really
I'm sure
good.
Man.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Well, you can watch it.
I don't know. I just feel like you're so wrong, Crofton.
You're so wrong, Audrey.
I was a kid who spent a lot of time in my imagination, and I had a lovely childhood, and it really was.
I had a lovely childhood.
All
Are you shitting on
You
my
had a fake
childhood?
childhood, Crofton. It was fake.
Fuck no. If anything, I became confident,
All right,
and-
live stream people.
handsome, and intelligent,
Hold that thought. The very few zero
and charismatic.
people watching on the live stream, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week, usual bat time Wednesday.
We were still on the live
8-ish.
stream.
Yeah, we got to say bye. We can't just cut it off.
You need to
somewhere.
kill that right after the show's over.
Yeah, kill
Well,
it.
then give me an opportunity to.
I asked
called-
you if we were off. You need to.
I can press.
All right,
should
let's
end
have
right
this
after.
argument after I end the live stream. Thank you for tuning
That's
in.
why I
Check
asked.
us out at
Ended
Good
the
Bad
live-
Now we're
Bull.
bickering.
All right, take it easy.
I can't
Say-
believe